Let's get into that one. Okay. English gardens are dominated by trees and shrubs with a natural shape. Yes, they are. But we're not going to do an English garden for this house. Okay, let's get going. Welcome to the house flip for the Home and Admin Legends house. House Flipper and Garden Flipper episode 101 of the series, but episode 5 for these guys. The kitchenette should be in the living room, says the real estate agent, and we tried, mate, we really did, but you weren't that interested. Alrighty, it's possible that the colour scheme wasn't to his liking, or something similar. So, this is what we did yesterday. Okay, we did that the day before, but we did this yesterday. And we also had a quick go at our office. We kept it in greys. I don't normally do a house this dark, but I figured the buyers liked it for a particular reason, so I didn't go too far from the original colours. I'm going to need to repaint that door frame though, so we'll do that right now before I forget. I know, I'm being a bit lazy, just to get that in. Okay, put that there. And we'll toddle that way. Alright, that's good. Now I did do the entire walls in here again, so we don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to take a risk that that's probably the last thing I need to do. I'm going with slightly darker doors. Yeah. So I might change the front door now that we're looking at it. Huh. Not sure what this is about. Let's just have a quick look at something. It's possible I just didn't finish off that stripe of paint. Yeah. That white bit, if we place the door right, you won't see it from the outside, so we should be good. Alright, now we're good. I know, every time I sell the paint can, I always find a reason to buy it back. It just seems to be this house. Okay, let's go with floor. I know, I'm being pernickety. I think I went with Palisander this time round. I could be wrong. No, it was not Palisander. It was possible. I don't think it was. It was mahogany. Okay. Alrighty, we need a door, which is what we did all this for. One door. Going for the front door. You know, I'm probably going to put the same colour back in, but anyway, where's the door knocker? There. Okay, let's just flip it this way. And I'm actually going to put it in from this side so I can make sure that I fit it flush to the front so it hides the grey paint. Which would work a lot better if my aim didn't suck. There we go. Yeah. Alrighty. We were going to do the hallway too, weren't we? Let's get this hallway done and then we'll get the bedroom done. So we have a narrow space, but we need to have access to the switches because I don't think I can move them. Yep, I can't move them. Normally I would put a limb bookcase in there, but I think if I do that I'm going to actually block access to where those switches are, which will be annoying. We went with Wenge because I don't have black. We went with silver because it looks good with black. I'm going to buy many. Let's just back up a little bit. Let's do that. Just going to flip it. Alright. Sorry, I've just been playing another game, so I'm just getting my head back where it needs to be for this one. Alrighty, away we go. Let's pull it out of the wall, flip it round. And you know what, we might alternate this with the Showcase Mary. Basically, the businessman likes the Showcase Mary. The art lady does as well. We can also get it in matching, leave it at steel, in matching timber or as close to matching as possible. So what this gives is an impressive little entry where now I can just dodge between the two. Where it's lined with bookcases and what we know about this particular batch of clients is they really like their bookcases. So I've saturated them and they probably don't care anymore, but there we go. Now we have, that is so dark, I hate it. Yeah, no, we're going to get rid of the Showcase Marys, I don't like them. But what we're going to do, instead of putting something else in here, let me just grab that. Move it down. We're going to brighten this place up just a little tiny bit. So we're going to go into cupboards. We're going to go into things with drawers. And we're going to pick one of the really narrow ones, probably that Ven, I would say. Yeah. So we're going to grab this chest of drawers in Wenge. That's a Ven. It's not narrow enough. I want something really narrow. We're not going to do that then. What I want is a really narrow chest of drawers, like the narrow bookcase, that I can put in the hallway. See, that's not going to work. Even, I mean, I wish I could do grey details. So I don't like it. Oops. Alright, give me a tick to work it out. Cabinets. Don't need a corner cabinet. Don't need a long cabinet. I want a low... Okay, yep, their idea of dresses is different to mine. Hanging, we don't want night. Shelves. Shelves. Shelves is probably not it either. We could get away with that. So basically, I'll just back up a little bit. I'll just move this troublemaker down. And then we'll pop this back in here. So what I'm after is a low piece, and then I want a high piece, because if you use the high pieces they really darken it in and bring the walls down around you, and I'm trying to avoid that for the moment. So now we've got this open expanse. We're just going to open it up a bit more. We can either use a mirror or we can use a picture, and I'm going to go with the picture because there's this grey natural kind of picture happening, and it's pretty big, so it fills that space nicely. So what we're going to do is get that, give it a Wenge frame and sit it. I prefer to give it a gloss black frame, but there's no black everywhere else. So now it looks like you've got a window, and under anything that looks that natural, you probably want to go with some plants. Okay, I need to do these anyway, but they're not going on that shelf. Okay, narrow little plant to go in a narrow little spot. And what they will do is just bring it up just a tiny bit. Okay, it just adds a tiny bit of brightness and a tiny splash of colour. Actually, I might grab a screenshot of that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put something in here, probably 3 at a guess. I need dark pots, so that's not going to cut it. It is the right sort of plant though, but I need something small and dark. Actually, I could get away with red. Do I have anything in black? No. Yes. Alright, I need one of these in black. Probably that one because it's got this symmetry between the two end plants. We're just going to put it here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a couple of pots. I was going to say red, and I'm probably going to be stuck with red because there is no black in these ones. Alright, we've got a bunch of leafy stuff with a stalky bit in the middle. We're going to use the chives and we're going to use them in the red. And it's too bright, but anyway. It's a really tiny, tiny splash of colour to join it to the lounge room, basically. So when you're here, alright, you've got just this tiny bright splash of colour. And then when you're over here, now you can see how the red pots pull everything in. Alright, which means I need to put more. I need to put something here probably. But this is where I would be inclined to leave this space, except for that. I don't know what I want to put there. I need a tall, narrow painting that does the same thing as the trees with leaves thing, but I don't think there is one. That comes close. That's too green. So this thing is really narrow. Yeah, but we need something like that, and that's the closest I've got. Okay, and that's pretty much where we're going to leave the corridor. Or the entry hall. Oh, except for these. These things can go. Driving me nuts. We'll just put in some of the narrow ceiling lamps. There we go. I don't think I'll line them up. Close but no cigar. Let's just make them straight. Oh, seriously. A little bit obs comp here. There we go. Alright, needs to go one wiggle over. There we go. Alrighty. So now we have our lights and this room is finished. This room does not match the rest of the house. I mean, you've got everything else out here is in this grey wenge kind of... We need a pot plant in the middle of that table. We do. Honest. Just, it'll work. And we're just going to go with something really tiny. Actually, that's too flowery. And if we're going to use something that's small and delicate, we're going to have actually have two more of it. I'd go for contrasting and actually put alright, we're going to leave that there. Yes, that works. Kinda. Alright, so there's your detail. Detail is it's the tiny things that make everything else. So we want the bedroom to be a slightly different zone to the rest of the house. We're selling it to Raphael Urco, who likes a television in his bedroom, so we're not going to get rid of any of the screens. I don't know why he wants this many screens, but he seems to like it, so they're staying. However, at that point, that's where everything else goes all to pieces, because I don't like any of the furnishings, except for what is on the end wall. So let's yeah, now everyone's grouchy. Really? You're all grumpy? And we're going to change the floor. Okay, so the floor is either going to go to timber and we're going to use rugs, which is probably where we'll go because I don't like any of the carpets. None of these will suit. We don't have a chocolate brown carpet, we don't have a grey, we don't have a black. So that's pretty much where that goes. We'll just go with the mahogany floor panels again and just keep that as a theme throughout the house. I am tempted to use a different grey on the wall. I'm going to leave the walls to last. Normally I'll do the walls and then figure out the rest, but what we might do this time is do the furniture and then figure out the walls. Which is the other way I do things, so it doesn't really matter. Beds. Okay. I like the Hermes. I just don't like the fact I can only have wenge and not a black or a grey, but that will do for a start. The only other real alternatives I've got, the double bed KO is pretty good. That gives me a dark wood, gives me a black. Actually, that gives me a black, but it doesn't give me, oh Man, who put these combos together? It doesn't give me a really great alternative in bedding, so that's why I'm not doing it. Though I am tempted to use that combination and put it up against a silver grey. Like, okay, let's just see how this works. It is a relatively small bed though, so all right, everyone is happy. 2 bedrooms. I'm trying to work out which of the couches counts as a bed. So these must count as beds, thanks. I've got no other bedroom in this place. All right, well, that's important to remember. Okay. It's not a big bed, this one either. All right, so let's have a look and see what other furniture items come in this range. Just that. That's a big minus for me because I like matching it. All right, so we're going to go back to the Hermes, but we're going to go with the wardrobe because I can do it in Wenge, and Wenge is close to what this bed is, but it's no cigar really, which is annoying. All right, you know what? The bed goes. The bed goes, and we are going to go and try something else. Hang on a minute. We are going to pop the Hermes bed in. We're going to use the grey. Grey is going to match with the yep, we've got Wenge, so the Wenge will match through. That works. And I'm guessing if he's got televisions, he's going to want to watch them while he's sleeping, so we're going to put the bed in the middle. There we go. I'm going to ignore him just for a minute because if that businessman stays up the top, I'm going to cry. We're going to use the bedside table Hermes. I can't remember which of these is which. That's the one I'm after. And the reason we're using it is because it's narrow and it fits in pretty much any space. So this little narrow space between the wardrobe and the bed is not a problem, which is nice because it gives us options for this wall over here. Although we're not going to use them, we're actually just going to go and we're going to use a Hermes cabinet because it's a narrow fit, which we need pretty much here. And we're just going to move that. Actually, hang on a minute. Yeah. Okay. Not quite sure why I couldn't fit it the other way, but it's going in this way. It is obscuring one of those though, so I don't like it there. I'm going to move that over here. I'm going to move that over to here. I know, it's given me dead space near the wardrobe, which is kind of a no-no. However, just pull that out of the cupboard. I'm going to push the bed back against the wall where it should be. Grab this cabinet and we're going to stick it over here where it should be. Alright. And then we're just going to realign everything just a tiny, tiny bit. Because we want space for people to pull their drawers out without getting stuck. And that means I can push this back into the corner. I don't think I can flip it though. Yeah, it's just that nth too close, too narrow. Alright, we'll just leave it, drop back where it was. Alright, so this is pretty much the simplicity of what we're doing. We are going to just change the grey on the walls before I put the blinds in. So just go walls, we'll go paint, we're going to go Silver Glacier. It's a really light grey, so I might change my mind about it, but we'll see how it looks first. And we'll do it against the background of the furniture. Alright. So we are going to go with this colouring. This is a lot more grey than I ever use. I normally put Silver Glacier somewhere like the garage. But it's not a bad idea really. I'm going to have to pull the bed out from the wall so that I can do the wall properly. But you really want, in the bedroom, you want a bit of a different zone and a different feel to the rest of the house. So this is just a room for relaxation. We're going to lose points because there's no contemplation room, and Urko likes his contemplation rooms, but I don't think I can squeeze one in without really messing things up. He seems to be pretty content with this one as it stands though. Okay. Just make sure we got that corner. Yeah, that looks good. So the reason I'm making sure I've got coverage of the walls is the real estate agent tends to pay a better price for really nice walls, and so does Dolan Trusk. And that is pretty much that. Oops. So it's still a fairly dark room, like the rest of the house, but the furniture, well, it's lighter. The furniture kind of lifts it and makes it a little bit of a lighter space. I don't think I want to change the colour of the floor. I might put in some of those grey rugs though, just to connect walls, bed and floor with colour. And we might put some kind of potted plant somewhere in here. We are going to use a matching, if we can get one, a matching lamp for the bedside table, so we'll just check that out. We'll also put in a couple of stereos, sound system speakers. There we go. I knew it was in there somewhere. So I'm thinking one of these has the grey covering. That's not what I'm after, and it's spots, not stripes, but I think that's the closest we're going to get. It says traditionalist, which is never a good thing. Oh, wait a minute. That's what we're after. I'm going to go with grey legs as well, just to keep that lightness happening. So I'm using a contrast between the grey and the brown, and if I could get rid of that brown and turn that into a black furniture or a dark grey paint, I would, but I can't, so that's the closest we'll get to ideal. Alrighty, we're going to tap the on switch for these guys. There we go. It will do. Alright, so the next thing we want is we want something on the walls, and we want a window blind. So we'll go with the blind first while I try and think of what paintings might actually be any good. So there's nothing in there that we want to use. Alright, that's our spotty blind. Oh gosh. So we could just go with the spots and the spots and the more spots. I really would like stripes. So failing stripes, we could have a look at the grey. I think it's going to be too close to the walls though, so we might have to go into the darker blinds. Let's just duck down over here. Nope, that'll do. Okay, so we're good with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put something on those window ledges to match things, and we're going to put some paintings on the wall somewhere. And oh, there was something else I had to put in here. What was it? We're going to get rid of that fan because that's We have an air conditioner, we don't need a fan. Alright, now we're going to do grey rugs. Pretty sure I don't get stripy grey rugs, but I'm going to try and find them anyway. So this is one stripy grey rug we can use, and it's not the look I want. This only comes in these. If that came in a variety of grey, that'd be really good. Alrighty, and if this came in a variety of, I mean, you could put your variety of grey stripes inside this. As it is, I think we're stuck with spots. Alright, we're going to pretend the spots are stripes because that's pretty much our only option. But it will still look better than straight down brown on brown, and we can fit 2 of them here. And we can center, actually we could probably fit 2 here, or we can just center a single one at the base of the bed, which is where we're going to go with that. Maybe. Let's just see what happens when I put another one in. So if I could go with a grey carpet I would, but I can't. I can, however, put 2 of these end to end. Okay, that looks better. And if I move this down so it fits flush, and then we do the same with this one. Personally, I'd like it a bit higher up, but it's just not going to do it, so we're going to do this instead. Okay, I think that works a bit better. I'd like to move the bed down now, but anyway. Actually, no, what we'll do instead is this. We'll move those back up, and we'll move the rugs under the TV cabinets so that they're flush with the ends. And what we want to do is hope that that takes out. Yep, so that'll give me an idea of where I've got to move this one. Alright, that's the effect we're after, and we've hidden the patch underneath that we can't fit a rug in, okay, because the room is not 3 rugs wide. It's only 2.5, 2 3/4 rugs wide. Maybe. Let me just grab this. Can I put it right? On the edge. Okay, I can't with this because I have a cupboard in the way. Let's just... Okay, no, it is not going to let us do that. That's okay. So what I was trying to do is just get a couple of extra inches on either side and hope I could fit the 3rd rug in the middle. Which, yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, so we've pretty much done what we can here. The only thing we need is we need a couple of plants in here to lighten it up. We're going to go with the Very Faithful Sansevieria, which is that tall, spiky, skinny plant. This one. We're going to put one here and one here to frame the window. No one likes getting out of bed and getting spiked, but if I put it just there, I should be able to avoid that happening. And this hopefully will not be too much in the way of the drawers. Alright, so come back over here, take a look. That's too much greenery in that corner. Yep, that looks better. Okay. The next thing we're after is we're going to go plants. We're going to go down to the the very tall, the long ones. We're going to go black. Actually, we might go grey. Let's have a look and see how that looks. Alright, and if we did it black? No, black is going to draw too much attention. So we're just going to go with one pot of grey. And all we're doing this for is to just get a little bit of colour to relieve the greyness of the room, which we did on purpose, but sometimes you just got to temper it. I'm pretty sure white is too light. No, it's not. White would be ideal. We're going to just change those grey pots to white. And we're going to put a trio of white across the top because it matches in with the it matches in with the bedspread, basically. So the grey was fine, but I like the white better. And the grey would not have worked with the white pots on either side. I know, we're not designing it for the artist. There we go. Okay. It's almost too much greenery, and it's... Okay, it is too much greenery. Let's just get rid of that. Hang on. My wrist is going, no. F12 on that. We're going to just grab the a light for the top of the room. So we want a ceiling lamp. We're going to go with the grey. It still looks black. That's okay. Where's my light switch? Alright. That's our bedroom. And it's done. So, this is what our house is going to look like, and we're going to sell it to the young man at the top there, Raphael Urco. We have a few different zones. We've used plants to lift the colour and to connect some of the reddish zone to the rest of the house. The red walls are just there because I was trying to impress Jimmy Trader, and he remained determinedly unimpressed. You know what? This needs something. Yeah, it needs 3. I can't have grey plants, but I can have 3 lots of white. And I think I'm just going to go 1, 2. I know, right? I'm putting plants near electrical equipment. It is one of the biggest no-nos ever, because people watering them are klutzes. But anyway. That's why we've put plants in. It just looks a lot more humane. Alright. And yep, that needs plants as well. That's going to be the little red chive things, which I don't have up there anymore, so we'll grab those. I was thinking of putting some kind of vase in, but anyway. Not sure if it'll be too much if I put them up here. Let's have a look and see. I could just stop with the two of them there. That looks all right. We'll just put the black in just to see. I think we'll probably end up taking it out. Nope, we're going to leave it there. That's okay. But we are going to take out this center plant and put a black pot in there. Nope, that was wrong. Never used to occur to me that the final touches like pot plants and pictures and whatnot were anywhere near important, but they make a difference. It's the right color, but it's the wrong size. I need something with some red in it. I don't think we... It'll do. Which means... I've wanted an excuse to use these pictures for a bit. They look a little not out of place, they're contrasting. I think they fit. We'll find out. But it's much nicer to come around the corner to those than it is to come around to the corner to just straight grey walls. Alright, now we're done. So that pretty much is the last of the exterior. The other thing I said I was going to do very quickly was have a look outside and just see what we needed to do with the garden, but it's kind of nighttime. So we're just going to do a modern garden like we did with the last house. We're going to gravel the daylights out of all of this. I'm probably going to put a pool area, entertainment area down that side. Gravel here, this will be a bit of a wasteland. The weeds are going just, yeah. And we're going to take out the trees. So that's pretty much going to take a lot of the next 2 sessions will be gravel, remove weeds, remove trees, remove these plants here, replace the path with something a bit less oiky, and put in probably not grasses that aren't as fluffy as the last lot. Probably the best I can give you. So on that note, that's where we'll leave it, and I look forward to catching you all tomorrow. So take care out there.